Hi, everybody. Welcome to the webinar, The Solution to Crush Sugar Cravings in 5 Simple Steps. This is Roseanne Zaft, and I'm so very grateful that you're here. Kudos to you for taking time out of your busy life to hang out with me and to dig a little deeper into the not-so-sweet truth about sugar. And the truth is that sugar is constantly kicking our butts and leaving us feeling like crap. Now, I'll share with you how my simple solutions and proven methods can save the day and maybe your waistline as we kick those cravings to the curb for good. I'm going to talk about how to overcome sugar cravings naturally. In this webinar, I'll be sharing with all of you the 5 simple steps you need to take to be successful. Let's face it, you've joined me on this webinar for 1 or 2 reasons. 1, you're addicted to sugar and can't stop eating it. Or 2, someone you know and love is struggling with a sugar addiction and you want to help them out. In either case, stick around because I'll explain how to use these 5 simple steps to crush cravings and smash addiction for good. You just may find that the next hour may save your life or the life of someone you love. I'll be packing a lot of info in the next hour, so be sure to jot down notes or any questions that may come up. And I also have a sweet surprise for you that you won't want to miss, so stick around till the end of the seminar. It's time to start living in the solution, so let's begin. What, you a sugar addict? I know that sugar is something that so many people struggle with. When I ask my clients what makes them go off their diet or crash and burn only to feel like a fat failure, they all agree that the biggest thing is that they start craving sugar. I get it. This is a huge challenge for anyone trying to lose weight or just those of us that are trying to live a healthier lifestyle. Is this you? You start out your day with the best intention, and then within a week or two, those cravings for bread, cookies, and pasta start feeling overwhelming. Something sets you off, and you find yourself mindlessly finishing off a bowl of M&Ms before your significant other comes home. Or you just have to have one more Monster or other energy drink before you go back to your next task. Let me ask you this. Have you found yourself at the end of your day standing in front of the kitchen cupboard negotiating with Oreo cookies and taking a vow that you'll work out for 15 minutes longer on the treadmill the next day? Stop beating yourself up. You're not alone. You see, I'm a health coach, a fitness trainer, and a yoga therapist. I'm also a woman in long-term recovery, which means for me that I've been alcohol and drug-free since June 2nd, 2002. I am so grateful about that. But I am definitely a recovering sugar addict as well. I know that every day the number one enemy, sugar, is in the parking lot doing push-ups, just waiting to take me down. And I need to stay vigilant on how this addiction can kill me, just as much as alcohol drugs would have. Let's face it, no one wants to become an alcoholic or drug addict. So who wants to become a sugar addict? None of us want to be fat. No one wants their lives destroyed by disabilities and illness. I mean, after all, we have policies and laws that protect people from alcohol, tobacco, and illegal drugs. Well, why not sugar? The research now shows that sugar is 8 times as addictive as cocaine. Crazy, right? I am powerless over sugar. That's for sure. The reason I openly talk about my alcoholism and drug addiction and now my sugar addiction is because I want to assure you it is never too late to make changes. I'm 58 years old, which is starting to sound kind of old, but truth be told, I feel and look even better than I did when I was 37. Seriously, I have more energy to live a happier, healthier, and productive life. And every day I live with this attitude of gratitude that I'm on this side of the grass. Plus, I get to eat the foods I love and don't feel deprived. Sure, my recovery from over 30 years of drug and alcohol abuse didn't happen overnight. Once I was clean and sober, I struggled with severe digestive problems and I felt sick and tired much of the time. So I visited a naturopathic doctor in search of answers, and did I ever find them? Unbeknownst to me, I had severe food sensitivities, the roots, which were the root cause of countless symptoms I had. I had acute adrenal fatigue, which caused constant exhaustion. And I also had candida, which was a runaway yeast infection throughout my digestive tract. My diagnosis was overwhelming to me at first, but I was really committed to getting and staying well. More than anything else, my naturopath taught me a deadly food secret. She pointed out that a specific food I was eating several times a day was disrupting all my body systems. It was sugar. And now my mission is to help others who are struggling with sugar like I did. I live my passion of health and fitness by helping people to achieve their dreams of feeling fit and fabulous at any age. And hopefully, I'm going to be able to help you too. Yep, I'm still powerless over sugar, and perhaps you are too. But I'm going to share solutions to fight the enemy. They are conscious choices I make that you can also make every day. So hang tight, and I'll share these simple solutions with you. But first, let's see why you can't live without the sweet stuff, shall we? Here's what I want to know. As a man or woman at the age of 50, 55, 60, or 65 plus, do you find yourself still playing the role of the superhero day in and day out? Have you spent the last decades of your life juggling professional responsibilities with housework, chores, duties as a spouse and a parent, or being a responsible caretaker for an elderly parent? Have you put away the idea of the person you were born to be, that smart, sexy, and savvy person you once were, because you feel fat and fried? Have you lost that thought and feeling of being totally sensational inside and out? And do you find yourself at the end of the day so tired and feeling irritable, even feeling overwhelmed? And you just tell yourself that this is just a byproduct of getting older. I hear that all the time. Yep, that's you. Over the hill, holding on to your menopausal or fat, fighting depression, and feeling just plain old hopeless. You're at the end of the line, and you've just accepted it's how it's going to be. So what's the point of thinking you can do anything about it, right? You're so exhausted and stressed out that time and time again you reach for something that makes you feel good, even if it's for 10 or 15 minutes. A chocolate chip cookie, a small bowl of sugar-free ice cream, or maybe a big gulp soda does the trick. Well, stop right now before you reach for another quick fix. Take a breath, a deep breath, seriously, right now. Remember, I told you there is a solution. See, I hear my clients tell me that their lives are so busy these days that a lot of them actually hate grocery shopping and cooking by this time in their life. And if they do grocery shop, they dash down the aisle and see all those products now labeled as sugar-free, so they confidently stock up on foods that they believe will help them to lose weight. I mean, after all, who's got time to read those labels? Does that sound like you? And then there are some people I know who sip on these new and improved sugar-free sodas. And the big problem is they're drinking entirely too many of them. I've also heard a lot of folks that don't do sodas, but they're still dodging in and out of the nearest coffee shop and ordering their third or fourth skinny latte that day, thinking they're making a healthier choice. Like you, many of my clients are always on the go and think as long as they eat a power bar, they've had a meal and they don't have to eat lunch. But they find themselves later that day grabbing a few cookies, and at 3 o'clock, they're nibbling on a couple pieces of candy to make until they go out to dinner. Or once they get home and they're preparing dinner, they're unconsciously shoveling down a bag of pretzels or chips just to take off the edge. The problem is they find themselves a couple hours after dinner sitting in front of the TV and wondering why they're still hungry after the box of crackers sitting in their lap is gone. Sadly, many people like this wake up the next morning and repeat the same mistake all over again, despite their best efforts. Does any of this sound like you? Boy, that was me. I sold my successful and highly stressful graphic design studio in '96. And a year later, at 40, made a career change into fitness, thinking it would help keep me healthier longer. Was I ever in a surprise? As I previously mentioned, I cut out the booze and the drugs, but found that I couldn't stop eating the sweet stuff. And I wondered why I felt like crap all the time. I was a health professional, for God's sakes. It got so bad, I even had to take naps between classes and clients most days. So, what I realized with the help of my doctor is that although I cut out my alcohol and drug addiction, I traded it in for one that was legal, yet just as dangerous, and that was sugar. And I didn't even know it. Sugar was hidden in so many of the foods I was eating, like those whole wheat bagels and so called high fiber power muffins that I thought were good for me. Dang, I was way off. So, friends, sugar addiction is the buzzword these days, and I'm here to tell you it's not going away anytime soon. Before we go over the 5 simple steps, let's take a further look behind the scenes of just how harmful sugar is and how it really affects us. Are you struggling with weight problems? Constantly dieting, but every diet you ditch after a week because it's too complicated or too boring, or you're still hungry and you don't even lose weight? Or worse yet, you do lose the weight, but you can't keep it off. Instead, you put it back on and maybe even a few extra pounds. Oh, how about that bloating feeling you get after eating? That makes you feel like you're made of helium. You know what I mean? You eat something you think is supposed to be good for you, but either immediately after or within a few hours, you get that puffy feeling that won't go away. You feel gas swirling around your stomach, and maybe you can't pass it, or just the opposite. It's constant, and embarrassingly, you can't control it. Do you deal with constipation? I chuckle about this. It used to be we talked about BMWs, and now we're talking about BMs or lack of them. Do you find you don't eliminate on a regular basis? Did you know that a healthy gut eliminates at least 3 times a day? Yep, 3 times. And I'm not referring to rabbit pellets or loose stool either. I'm referring to a normal, healthy bowel movement. And if poor digestion isn't enough to make you feel crappy, how about depression? Have you noticed that little black cloud that hangs over your head that just doesn't go too far away? if ever? Or do you find yourself feeling blue no matter what's going on in your life? Then even your best days, things don't seem so bright and merry. How about this? When was the last time your skin really glowed? Are you struggling with breakouts, itchy skin, or eczema? I mean, take a good look at your face. Does your skin look dull and pasty regardless of the latest, greatest, and expensive skin creams you've been using? And then there are allergies and the frequent colds. Do you seem to always be sniffling or stuffy? That it's just normal for you to be like that? Or are you constantly feeling like you're getting sick? And when you are sick, it takes weeks to get over what appears to be a simple cold? Let's face it, getting old is hard enough, but does it really have to be a killer on our body? Do you constantly feel achy in your joints, but you're blaming it on arthritis? I hear that all the time. Or does it feel like your muscles are sore even when you haven't worked out? And lastly, let's talk about fatigue. Are you always tired because you can't get enough sleep? Or if you do get to sleep, you don't get a good night's sleep, that deep, restful, sound sleep? Because you're so tired, you have no desire to work out or tackle one of your many projects on the endless list of things to do. Worse yet, have you noticed that even your sex drive seems to have driven far into the sunset? Now, that one really sucks, considering these should be the best years of our life to enjoy an active and fulfilling sex life. In the previous slides, I addressed all the symptoms related to sugar addiction. Yep, I said it, sugar addiction. How many of those symptoms do you deal with daily, week to week, or month to month? Did you know that any of these symptoms, when not addressed, will only get bigger and may eventually turn into chronic diseases like diabetes, heart failure, even cancer? There's a new word out that's been coined called diabetes. And now one out of two adults today are suffering from it. Crazy, right? Now, just for a moment, close your eyes. Come on, close them. Got it? Okay. Now, just imagine, what would it feel like if you felt like you did when you were 30? To actually lose the brain fog and feel balanced. What would it be like to experience a surge of energy just by eating in a way that feels natural but is easy to prepare? Wouldn't it be fantastic to feel fuller, longer, without the nagging hunger pangs that show up within hours after eating your last meal? What if you could lose the weight and have the fat melt off without feeling deprived or having to beat yourself up with tons of exercise? Now, imagine how amazing it would feel to look fabulous in your clothes and sexy in your glowing skin. Okay, open your eyes. As promised, by the end of this webinar, I'll give you 5 simple steps to get you off the white stuff so you can feel that great again and enjoy food, even treats, without feeling guilty. You know, I have clients and friends tell me all the time they eat quote unquote healthy or clean. But I have observed that there are 3 main reasons just why they still feel fat, fatigued, and a plain old failure. I'm going to show you these right now. Number one, you consume certain foods even if you're not hungry because of cravings. Let me explain a little bit about this one. It's not real technical, but I think it's something that needs to be said about what sugar does to your body. You eat sugar, which is hidden in things like cereal and bagels and breakfast bars, granolas, whole grains, pastas, dried fruit. That's just to name a few things where sugar's hidden. And your pancreas secretes insulin, and that's fat storage and fat transporting hormone. And it secretes it in response to the amount of sugar consumed, causing insulin spikes. Now, at the same time, the liver is turning the sugar into energy, or it stores it later as a glycogen, or it turns into fat. When the liver does release sugar into the bloodstream, blood pressure rises, blood glucose levels increase, causing blood sugar spikes. Now, high insulin levels cause blood sugar levels to plummet. Your body gets tired and thinks it needs more sugar to offset the imbalance, sending you a signal to the brain that you're hungry again. And speaking of the brain, similar to heroin, dopamine levels in the brain surge as well when we eat sugar. So the bottom line is you put willpower against hormones, willpower loses every time. Reason number two, you worry about cutting down on certain foods because you're afraid they're going to make you fat. So you think you should pass on eating fruit because it's way too high in sugar, or you think you'll avoid eating nuts because, after all, eat those fat calories? No way. Instead, you think that the sugar-free iced tea is a super refreshing beverage. And when you need something crunchy, you only eat a 100-calorie serving of skinny popcorn. So what's the problem? Well, that is a problem. Here's a direct quote from one of my clients who talks about eating clean. Rose, I had done so well yesterday watching my calorie intake, but about 9 p.m. last night I walked in the kitchen and there they were. I intended to eat just one cookie, but, well, I managed to polish off the entire box. It was like something overcame me and I just couldn't stop. Sound familiar? Well, here's the last reason, number three. You need more and more of the foods you crave to experience any pleasure or reduce negative emotions. Here's what's really happening. Every time we eat just one mini cupcake or a couple crackers or cookies, it's like a few teaspoons of sugar landed on our tongue, and that triggers sugar receptors in the taste buds to send a message to the brain that says, all is well again. That's because the sugar receptors tell your body you've eaten something sweet, which activates the reward center of your brain and produces dopamine. That was the chemical of pleasure and satisfaction, which I spoke about earlier. It seems like most of our life is about managing dopamine, how to make more of it, how not to become a slave to it. But the fact is, when dopamine is released, you feel happy and any tension is temporarily eased. That's why so many men and women, like me, and maybe you, eat sugar to change their emotional state. The problem, of course, with eating this kind of sweet stuff is that the benefit is short lived and the pattern can become very addictive. Feeling happy in response to sugar makes you want more sugar, so you can keep feeling good. And as the sugar moves through your gastrointestinal system, the way it holds your brain hostage continues. It's now the sugar receptors in the stomach and intestines that send more feel-good signals to the brain. The result is that sugar leads us to eating more in order to keep feeling good. The research shows that corporate food companies are taking advantage of our wiring and creating food with a certain kind of mouthfeel these days that keep us wanting more. Are you with me? Now, artificial sweeteners fare no better. Besides sending signals to the brain, much like sugar does, to crave more sweetness, recent data shows that diet sodas and other fake sugars may be even worse for our metabolism, and that's the rate at which you burn calories. And these artificial sweeteners are very harmful to the gut microbiome. These kind of fake sweeteners are notorious for feeding our addiction, and they're killing us as well. So many horrible side effects. Is there any wonder why you can't overcome sugar cravings and addictions to the sweet stuff? Take a quick peek at the nutritional landscape we have these days. It's really more like a food circus if you're among those whose brain chemistry, taste buds, and hormones have been hijacked by the food industry. Then really, that's about 70% of adults, including about 40% of children. It's really time to stop blaming yourself. It is time for all of us to take back our health and demand that our families and friends and loved ones be protected from addictive substances and from the insidious marketing practices directed at us from the food industry. If you are a sugar junkie, fear not. They say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And I'm here to tell you, friends, sugar is killing you, but education is going to make you stronger to kick this addiction to the curb. Don't take my word for it. Kelly Brownell from Yale's Rudd Center for Food Policy and Obesity published a textbook called Food and Addiction. And it lays out the science of how hyper-processed, hyper-palatable, hyper-sweet industrial foods have hijacked our brain chemistry and biology. I really encourage you to check it out. Did you know that there are 600,000 processed foods in the marketplace, 80% of which have added hidden sugar? Here in America, the average American consumes 22 teaspoons of sugar a day, mostly hidden. One serving of Prego tomato sauce has more sugar than a serving of Oreo cookies. And those sweet yogurts can actually have more sugar than a can of soda. Sugar is the core ingredient used by the food industry to make bad ingredients like processed flour and chemicals taste good. And our consumption has increased from 10 pounds per person in the 1800s to 140 pounds per person per year today. What would you think if one of your national athletes went on television promoting the benefits of cocaine water to increase sports performance? Or how about this? Would you allow heroin dispensaries in public? Or going into the nearest coffee shop and asking for a morphine muffin? This is exactly what's happening today. Now, it's time to stop blaming the fat person and start blaming food manufacturers. And can we really blame our family and friends if we are freely giving them drugs of abuse for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks? This is where I emphatically say, hell no to how we are being poisoned and addicted to sugar. I urge you to join my sugar revolution today and kick your sugar addiction. Now, as promised, here are my 5 simple steps to crush your sugar cravings naturally and for good. Now, the root cause of cravings runs the gamut. We talked a little bit about it, whether it's from ancestry or lifestyle choices. But knowing where sugar is lurking can have huge effects on your cravings, and they could be the key that finally helps you break free of your addiction. You may not even be aware you're eating that much sugar. Labels certainly don't make it easy to spot. Sugar hides in non sugar sounding ingredients like maltodextrin, barley malts, and fruit juice concentrate. You may think you're making all the right food choices and eating healthy, like many of my clients say, but you're still dealing with cravings that create weight loss resistance and the numerous symptoms I discussed earlier. My 5 steps can help you curb those cravings to claim fast, lasting fat loss and, of course, optimal health that you truly deserve. Here we go. Step 1, food as medicine. Now, I'm not trained to administer complicated drugs and prescriptions. However, I have been trained about nutrition, and I have found that food works better. Hippocrates even agrees with me. He stated, "Let food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food." Amen, brother. Nutrient dense food makes you feel all glowy and lovey and keeps you away from the doctor. What does this mean in terms of your daily meals? It means eating a combination of protein, healthy fats, and fiber at each meal, along with healthy snacks. You must put these 3 things in your diet in every single meal you eat, and they will balance out your blood sugar levels, they'll keep you full longer, and most importantly, help you overcome sugar cravings. So today's rockstar tip is to start your sugar revolution is with your grocery cart. It really does start with what you do eat. You need to add in foods that balance blood sugar levels and balance out insulin. If you want to avoid sugar cravings, you've got to work with insulin in order to keep blood sugar levels stable. Pump up the protein. It's one of the fastest ways I know to calm your sugar cravings. Protein is great for filling you up and keeping you satisfied. But did you know it really actually does decrease cravings too? It puts the brakes on our neuron reward system. Those brain chemicals I talked about that make us feel good and motivate us to get more food, even when we're not hungry. When we're low in protein, cravings take over and crack the whip in search of a quick fix. Protein facilitates the release of hormone called glucagon, which has the opposite effect to insulin. Glucagon helps regulate blood sugar by slowing down the speed of the carbohydrates turning into sugar in your blood, and it lowers the secretion of insulin. Ultimately, this keeps your hormones in balance and prevents your food from being stored as fat. Next, eat healthy fats. The debate between good versus bad fats can be confusing, but you must consume fat on a daily basis to have a balanced whole food diet. Besides transporting nutrients that are live in vitamins A, D, E, K, fats also are responsible for protecting the vital organs from trauma and temperature change. Fats are essential for the nervous system in manufacturing steroid and sex hormones. Plus, not enough good fat can contribute to allergies, inflammation, arthritis, depression, and learning disabilities. And by now, we do know excessive amounts of unhealthy fats are linked to cardiovascular disease, plus obesity. Good fats keep you feeling fuller longer. And the third part of that equation was to get more fiber. Fiber is essential because it helps you stay full longer and it reduces your cravings. Fiber also promotes gut health, reducing the risk of many chronic diseases, even cancer. Now, fiber is classified in two types, soluble and insoluble. Don't be too concerned with that right now. Just start out increasing your fiber intake slowly, but your goal is to get at least 25 to 35 grams of soluble and insoluble fiber per day. And just like fats, high fiber foods are low in sugar, so you'll stay full longer. Step 2. You just gotta get the sugar, refined carbs, and grains out of your diet. We all get caught up in that endless loop. Eat sugar, crave sugar. Eat sugar, crave more sugar. So elimination is a must. Now, this is challenging the first couple days. You may even think it's impossible. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It is a challenge, but it's not impossible. First, don't eat these foods. I call them the P foods. Pizza, pasta, pastries, pretzels, potatoes, and processed foods of any type. Those bad P foods are robbing you of your mojo. You simply need to find some healthy, natural replacements that satisfy the sweet taste. Yes, I sincerely mean it. It really is that easy. Here's 2 ways. First one is enjoy a cup of tea with organic stevia, or make a simple green smoothie with some greens, berries, and chia seed. Remember what I told you in the first step: protein, healthy fats, and fiber, essentially real food. And what easier way than to get some of that in a smoothie? It's my go-to. Step 3, take the right supplements. As I said, I'm not a doctor, but I do know this, that many of us are quite deficient on digestive enzymes, vitamins, and trace minerals because of all the processed and cooked foods we ate. But there's one in particular, a supplement that helps us keep our blood sugar levels balanced. It's a trace mineral called chromium, which is recommended by so many naturopathic doctors. By taking about 200 micrograms of chromium picolinate, you will really help those blood sugar levels. But find a high quality chromium supplement and then start taking it 3 times a day with your meals. Next, consider taking a high quality B complex vitamin with B12 and 6 to help overcome cravings too. And it's also very important to use a probiotic supplement daily. This will help reduce cravings because they help get rid of yeast in your system. You see, yeast and bad bacteria feed off of sugar. So by taking a probiotic, you keep this in check in your gut. Lastly, you may consider incorporating a high quality fiber supplement, or better yet, a few tablespoons of sprouted chia or flax in your daily routine. Remember what I said about fiber previously: 25 to 30 grams a day to help curb cravings, help you feel full longer, and remove toxins from the body. Step 4, exercise smarter, not harder, then decompress and rest. If you're serious about crushing cravings, it's very important you manage your stress levels. So let's talk about exercise to make sure you are doing the right type of exercise. Too much long duration, high intensity, anaerobic cardiovascular exercise will create more stress in your body, and it will cause you to crave more sugar. So as a fitness pro, I tell all my clients, consider weight training, isometric exercises. I do a lot of HIIT, or better known as high intensity interval training with my clients, as well as bar, Pilates, and yoga. You see, when we're constantly pushing our limit with long duration anaerobic exercise, we keep craving more fuel. And it's not wild salmon or grass fed beef we're reaching for. Instead, we're craving sugar. And ironically, sugar actually stresses your body further, shooting it full of short term energy and sending your hormones into a spin cycle, then spiking, then plummeting your blood sugar. Bottom line, guys, avoid long distance cardio like running, and you'll avoid craving more carbs, I promise. So, as I said, my suggestion is do some weight training in combination with HIIT 2 to 3 times a week, and then practice some mind body movements to decompress, like yoga, Pilates, or bar 2 to 3 times a week. The research is out there that these mind body practices, yoga, meditation, and deep breathing, help you unwind and relax. So when stress strikes, you're prepared. Speaking of being stressed and being prepared, I love, love, love reaching for my essential oils. It's a perfect, quick, and easy way to get present, and it unclutters my mind when things get crazy for me. If you're not using essential oils, or if you are and not sure that you've got the best, shoot me an email and we can talk more. Find out the oils I use personally, and we can also talk about ways that we can help with essential oils to reduce your stress levels. Okay, we talked about exercise and decompressing. Now we're about rest. Get 7 to 9 hours of sleep every night. Probably a few of you are chuckling right now when I said that, but really, it's no coincidence you're craving your coworkers' homemade chocolate chip cookies or your neighbor's blueberry muffins after a crappy night's sleep. Beyond just making you a caffeinated morning after mess, inadequate slumber knocks numerous hormones out of whack, paving the road for hunger, cravings, and overeating. So, do this. Prepare for quality, uninterrupted sleep. And what I mean by that is about an hour before bed, turn off electronics and develop an unwinding bedtime ritual, like a hot bath, cup of chamomile tea, a bit of aromatherapy with some delightful essential oils, and a good but not great novel. Make your mantra exercise, decompress, and rest. And finally, step 5, get a guru. Seriously, a guru. The word guru is a yoga term that means someone who is a teacher, a guiding light, or a master of certain knowledge. It's not easy to do all of this on your own, so get support. Get some understanding and guidance to help you succeed. Find your guru. Work with a health coach or a naturopathic doctor that you feel comfortable with and that really has your best interest at stake. They can help you go a little deeper to understand the connection between what you eat, why you eat, and how you feel, so you'll be able to be in more control with your health and food choices, and on your way to enjoying the happier, healthier, and more energetic life, one that is free of cravings and free of emotional eating. You may even want to consider a food rehab program, support group, or a detox program. And any of these programs can help you to break your food addictions and stop cravings. We've talked about how the addiction to sugar is pretty powerful. But, as I said, I've got good news. Research shows that our bodies and brains can be free of addiction within 7 to 10 days. You can make lasting changes. Now, there's so much to learn in so little time. And if you'd like to learn more and understand your unique food connection, talk about individual goals, any concerns you have, let's set up a strategy session right away. You don't have to do this alone. I'll give you my contact information later on in the webinar. Now, I've also included a bonus step, my Live Fit Crush Cravings smoothie. You want to write this one down. The biggest change for me was to start my day or incorporate in my AM snack a green smoothie. So here's my go-to recipe. I blend 1 scoop of my vegan protein, it's chocolate or vanilla, 6 ounces of unsweetened organic non-dairy almond or coconut milk, a couple ounces of filtered water, about 5 ice cubes, and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. And, of course, I throw in a big handful of greens, any kind of greens. After all, I am a green smoothie girl, but that's always optional. If you're interested in the Live Fit Smoothie Blend Protein, check my website out. Again, that link will be provided later on, but check it out. I developed it specifically for the active aging adults. The best part of starting your day with a smoothie is that you make smart decisions about food and life that continue all day long. Why? Because your blood sugar is stable, you're cooling down inflammation, and you're letting your body know it can relax and trust you've got this food thing covered. So start your day with a smoothie. It's one of those small new habits that can add up to a major transformation over time. Lastly, a word to the wise. Don't try to eliminate sugar all at once. Trust me on that one. I did it one time and it was a killer. When I did it, I felt like I was coming off of heroin. Although I never done heroin, it felt like I was coming off of something really wicked. Completely eliminating sugar at once guarantees you'll go with the withdrawals, like you would with any other addiction. So instead, you want to taper and transition nice and easy from high to medium to low sugar foods. Remember, this is a process, but it's one that'll set you up for success and prevent the cravings that can set you back. As you heal, you eliminate cravings and retrain your taste buds to enjoy naturally sweet foods. So we're going to take a quick little review of what we've talked about so far. Step 1, food as medicine. Real food, protein, fats, and fiber. Step 2, cutting out processed sugar and grains. Step 3, taking the right supplements to help aid blood sugar balancing. Step 4, exercise smarter, then decompress and rest. And step 5, get a guru. And don't forget my bonus tip. Start your day or include in your day a Live Fit Crush Cravings smoothie. Okay, now I know what you might be thinking. This is great and amazing info, Rose. I'm tired of feeling like a failure all the time, but it sounds a bit overwhelming and a little complicated. You may also be saying, yeah, I want to eliminate sugar, but I don't know exactly which foods to eat, when to eat them to help balance my blood sugar. Well, what I've shared with you today is a 30,000 foot view of my story and just enough information you need to take right action to start getting your hormones balanced and your weight back on track. And really, you can do all this stuff on your own. Or you could pick up my 10-day all-natural sugar detox program and learn faster and better than you can possibly do by yourself. See, I spent thousands of dollars and hundreds of hours getting my health back. And now people ask me all the time how I did it. So I went ahead and spent countless hours putting all my knowledge into this program so you don't have to do what I did. The 10-day all-natural sugar detox is a way to eliminate sugar without feeling deprived. It gives you strategies to help you fight symptoms that arise as you make the shift to an all natural, sweet way of living. As I mentioned, crushing your sugar cravings begins with healthy, blood sugar stabilizing foods. I'll show you how to eat easy, flavorful, and delicious low sugar foods. For 10 days, I'll hold your hand and help you ease off the high sugar foods that hurt you so you can seize that vibrant life that's just waiting for you to live. Here's my big promise. Within days, you will feel balance and experience surges of energy. You'll feel full longer from eating great tasting meals, and the weight you can't ever seem to lose, well, it will melt off. Remember this, diets don't work, and this isn't a diet. The 10-day sugar detox is a way of eating that supports your metabolism and hormones. And it even includes slow digesting carbs. No pills, no powders, no deprivation, just real food. And these results will continue well past the 10 days because you have been introduced to new food habits that feel natural and easy. You'll have new strategies and learn how to plan meals and make easy recipes that will give your body the nutrition it needs to thrive. And finally, because you'll get your blood sugar and hormones balanced, you'll get your metabolism back on track. There's lots included in my program. First, you get a 10-day prep checklist. Because change can be challenging, I'll provide clear instructions on how to prepare before you start the program. It's all there, and it'll be simple to dive deeper into the detox. Then, I'll send you a brand name list and grocery shopping guide, so you'll be able to take the guesswork at what you need to buy. There's a printer-friendly guide with all the meals, snacks, and drinks, foods that are covered, so you're completely taken care of. And of course, you'll receive the 10-day meal plan. Now, I've worked with a registered holistic nutritionist and designed this so there's no need to question what you're going to eat, when you need to eat, and what to avoid. The entire 10-day sugar detox is laid out for you. All you have to do is follow it. Included in my program is a healing detox journal, and I felt this was important so you can record how you feel, take notes of energy levels, and document how best to nourish your body. And all this is provided in a 14-day email. As I said, I'm here to support you. From the minute you make the commitment to start the detox, you'll receive daily emails from me to help you succeed in crushing cravings once and for all. I've also included a simple, let me emphasize that, simple and delicious detox recipe guide. Not a lot of us like to cook. I mean, I love to, but a lot of people are too busy and don't like to cook. But you'll be able to enjoy these recipes, my facts, tips, and other things well beyond the 10-day program. These simple recipes are geared toward continued detoxification for your body, and they also are very beneficial in strengthening your immune system and boosting your energy while you lose weight. You also have exclusive access to a private support group so that you can get help from others who have done the detox and are doing the detox, so you know you're not alone. Plus, I'm including 2 extra bonuses. Bonus number 1 is my super smoothie recipe book. Like I said before, who wants to spend a lot of time cooking, right? Smoothies are the simple answer when you're busy. These 15 simple and sensational recipes are awesome to drink after the detox, and they'll keep you feeling energized, alert, and focused while your belly and your taste buds stay happy. My second bonus, once you enroll, is that I'll send you a signed copy of my Amazon bestseller, All Natural Sugar Detox book. This book is everything you need to know to recognize all the hidden sugars in the food you eat, how to recover from addictive patterns, and it'll also guide you to fully restore yourself to the healthy life you were born to have. If you were to get everything a la carte, the 10-day all natural sugar detox would cost well over $257. But I've priced it at only $97. You can go to my website or go to www.10daysugardetoxsystem.com at any time and purchase it there. Or if you take action now, I've got another offer. Remember early in the webinar I mentioned to you that if you stuck around to the end, there'd be another sweet treat? Well, here you go. If you sign up now, I have a third bonus. I call it my fast action bonus. Besides the Super Smoothie recipe book and my best-selling all natural sugar detox book, I'll send you an introductory essential oils kit valued at $30. This intro to essential oils kit includes a 5 milliliter bottle of doTERRA certified pure therapeutic grade lavender, lemon, and peppermint essential oils, which are the oils I actually recommend to be used during your detox. The cool thing is that included in this kit are other suggestions of uses for the oils, so you'll actually receive immediate experiences of the life-changing benefits of oils just by using them in a variety of ways besides the detox. Pretty sweet deal, huh? Stop looking for the magic pill or the perfect time to stop your sugar addiction. This is the perfect time, and this is the perfect program to regain control over your sugar addiction and crush sugar cravings for good. So go to www.10daysugardetoxsystem.com, and you can read testimonials there of real people who I've worked with who have successfully completed my program too. Okay, I could go on for about another hour about sugar and sugar addiction, but I've said enough. Now, I'd love to hear from you. You can join my private Facebook group, Sugar Addiction and Recovery Support Group. And that's a place where you can chat with others that are struggling with sugar addiction and cravings and ask me some questions. So just check it out if you're a Facebook person, Sugar Addiction and Recovery Support Group. And let's start a conversation there. I want to thank you so much again for your time and attention on this webinar. I hope it helped you become more aware of the sugar you are consuming, and I hope it encouraged you to do something about it if you realize you are addicted to sugar. A couple of reminders before I sign off. First, be sure to check out my website, www.roseannezaff.com, and especially my blog. I'm constantly posting yummy, sweet, and stress-free recipes and sugar-free recipes. They're easy, trust me. Secondly, when you're on the website, sign up for my emails. I love giving out tips, tools, recipes throughout the year, so don't miss it. And also, be sure to get my free tips of the day on your smartphone. I have a smartphone app called Live Fit Today. So it's available for iPhone or Droid. Check it out in your app store. And lastly, don't miss your opportunity to get my extra third bonus when you purchase the 10-day all-natural sugar detox system. This is a special limited time offer. Thanks again for your time. Have a happy and healthy day.